The most challenging thing I've ever experienced in BMX, now whether it's riding or starting a skate park or a show team or a little pros tour, YouTube, or traveling around the entire world, anything I've ever done in BMX over nearly 20 years now, the most challenging thing I've ever experienced is, here's the shot. YouTube! Welcome back, Q&A Sunday. I've got a brilliant question left as a comment from Butch32. I love the name, and I hope if 32 is what I'm thinking, we're about the same age here. So I love this question. Butch32 actually asks, love your videos and passion, Dustin. You're an asset to our action sports community. What is the most challenging experience you've had in the action sports industry? Whether it's a trick, an injury, starting a business, and also, what is the most rewarding experience? And I think this is a brilliant question, okay? Because when I look back, like, there is a lot of stuff that BMX has led me to. And there have definitely been some challenging moments, but in the end, I'm still doing all this, you know? It's been a blast. And so, I guess when I kind of think about kind of all the different areas of action sports I've been in, what have been, you know, the most challenging and some of the most rewarding. So, you know, I'm gonna start right with tricks. We all do bike tricks, okay? There's always going to be challenging tricks out there. And I think one of the most challenging tricks I have ever done was likely learning flares. Because anyone who knows me around the Minnesota scene, I tried my first flare at G-Shock back in the day. And I tried over and over and over. We didn't have foam, we didn't have resi in town, we had a quarter, we had a bank next to it. And I was sending flips off that quarter for, I swear, it was probably almost 6 months. And then all of a sudden it just clicked. I finally landed and finally like got them dialed in. But I didn't have a quarter with the foam pit to just try them safely over and over. So when I tried them during a normal, you know, you had your once a week session, I could have slammed super hard and been done for the night, you know? So it's not like I could try over and over into a foam pit. And so that was one of the most challenging, maybe even one of the most rewarding tricks as well, because of what I went through to actually learn it. You know, a couple other challenging tricks I've done over the years. Flip bar to whip, that was a very challenging one. And also another one that kind of stands out is truck to foot jam. So like truck driver into foot jam and back in. And that one also took quite a few months, just trying off and on. But it's cool because anything you learn like that, they are very rewarding. So next part of BMX, next challenge, I would say being a pro rider in general is a challenge, okay? Because not everyone's a huge celebrity. There's very little money. No one's, I mean, there's only maybe a handful of guys that actually do very well financially in their sport. And so it's challenging. It is very challenging to get to contests and get to events because not everything happens where you live. You got to travel a lot just to get your name out there and stuff. And so it's very, very challenging. And I would say one of the hardest parts can be working with sponsors, and it's tough because so many people rely on sponsors and to go places, and if the sponsor can't get you there, what do? You don't go, or you know what? And so anyways, I did have kind of a little turning point in BMX where I said, okay, I'm gonna stop relying on sponsors for stuff because I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm just going to do trips and stuff on my own. So I went back to what I went to college for and started doing web work, and all of a sudden, you know, all the time that I had spent trying to go to a sponsor, and that's been a challenging part, and working out, you know, travel budgets and trying to get places from sponsors can be almost impossible. So I said, I'm gonna take all that time and put it into what I went to school for, and do some websites within that same amount of time and make enough money to do multiple trips, you know. And so that really changed things. And then all of a sudden, I mean, that was very rewarding, going to a lot of these contests and seeing the world and stuff. Another challenging part of riding over the years has been the factory and starting our own skate park. I mean, that's been not necessarily actually starting it, but keeping it going. There's so much that happens actually outside of the skate park, just behind the scenes, that you would never, I mean, no one will ever have any idea until they actually do it themselves. You know, another challenging part is mixing friends and money. I'm sure you've maybe heard in the past, but that can always be a sensitive subject as well. And it's nuts, because no one will ever be able to relate or experience what, you know, I have and Evan have until they do it themselves. So I love meeting other skate park owners and people who run parks, because they know exactly what we all go through. It is just, it is unreal. And the only thing I can tell people who don't kind of understand or think about, you know, everything that goes on behind the scenes with the skate park, look at all the skate parks around the entire world. What is the one thing they all have common? They all shut down. Every single one, except for maybe a handful. There's a few exceptions. We happen to have one right here in town, Third Layer, has been one of the longest running indoor skate parks in the entire world. And this is just indoor parks, you know, and it's tough. They all shut down, you know, and so that's, you know, I try to remind people of that. It's like, dude, these aren't easy to do at all. You know, if they were, everyone would have a skate park, right? It's been tough. Running a skate park has definitely been a challenge. Shows, we started on a show team. I would say it's not too challenging. The only challenging part about that is, you know, riding the shows and actually performing the shows, you know, after so many years, like, it's pretty easy. The challenging part has been really when you start your own show and trying to book shows and that whole side of everything. Booking is just a whole nother world. And until I actually started our own show team, I never realized like how much work actually goes into actually getting these events. Because when you're a rider and you just show up and perform, you just think, oh, it's just an event. Like, there was nothing that really went into getting this event. Well, there's probably even more time spent getting the events and booking them and dealing with insurance and everything than just showing up and doing the show. And so I have a whole other respect for you know, anyone who runs show teams now, because, you know, I've spent years trying to book one event. Year after year, you keep, you know, seeing what's going on, like, you know, are you guys interested? And eventually, sometimes it does work. Others, you know, I've spent years and we're still not there. So booking shows can be a challenge. Next one, Little Pros Tour. Little Pros Tour. Definitely one of the most rewarding experiences. It's been something I started kind of by myself with, that it all sparked from our trip with Dallas. And this is how like all the tours kind of go. I happen to be going to California, and I talked to Dallas' parents. I'm like, hey, I'm already going out here. Like, if Dallas wants to hop in the car, you know, he feel free to send him along, and I'll get, you know, call a bunch of the parents, and we'll get a kids session going. That's how it all started. And so the next trip, I happen to be going overseas to England, stay with Matt, and we happen to find a bunch of the kids around. And so the next trip happened to be, you know, the next video happened to be based on another trip I was doing. And so all these videos are basically just based on what I can afford to do, and you know, as I travel to other events or just want to see the world on vacation, you know. And so a lot of people look at this Little Pros Tour as this, you know, big I don't know, corporate thing or something, and it's like, no, like it's just me, you know, working and saving my money so that I can go to this event or whatever. But while I'm there, let's do something fun with the kids, you know, let's see who's around. So Little Pros Tour has been, I guess, a little bit of a challenge like that, because it's like, it's not you know, this huge thing everyone thinks it is. But with 10 million views, it certainly looks like it. So it's been a blast. It really has. It's been very rewarding, and looking forward to a lot more. And so I definitely appreciate the patience in the time it's taken to get a lot of these edits out, because while I'm there experiencing, you know, a new place or whatever, and we're having a session, I'm gonna start filming and we'll get the footage. But now the challenge has been keeping up and getting all these edits out. And now I've been working closely with my dad as well, and he's been helping with a lot of these edits, just a lot of them. That's why there's been so many edits out lately. He's done like 30 some videos in the last probably 6 weeks. And so I guess as we get into YouTube, talk about a challenge, oh my Lord. And you start posting multiple times a week and you want to go to daily, holy crap, dude. Anyone who has a YouTube channel, you guys know what I'm talking about. The rest of the world has no idea. It is nuts. Talk about a challenge right there. Whole nother respect for anyone on YouTube. Great work, guys. It is not easy at all. A lot of time commitment, seriously. And now, as we get into our product, our new product, Ride Brand. This has been a challenge. It's going on 2 years now, and I feel like this is going to be the biggest challenge of all of them, okay? It started, you know, making a few hats, and then it slowly grew from there, and now every week it's something different. And, you know, eventually we got into shops and, you know, shipping the product out and reordering product and doing decals and answering questions from people and returns. And like, there's so much as this grows. And it all started in Minnesota, and now we have quite a few states now as well. Just go to ridebrand.com. This is a new sample shirt we've been working with. Someone actually had a request for to do snowboard videos, and I don't believe we've actually done any snowboard videos, but here's a little preview of a Ride snowboard shirt. So every week it's something different with the brand, and it is definitely going to be, and is already, one of the biggest challenges I've ever experienced with in action sports. And I have no idea what's down the road as well. I know right now I'm trying to add a whole bunch of extra states because I'm getting requests all over the place to make them shirts for their states. So that's been, you know, kind of a high priority lately, and getting you your ride shirt with your state. So and that's been fun. And so now as things get busier and busier with all these projects, I realize there's only so much I can do. And now the past almost year now has been turning into, okay, if we're gonna grow all this stuff, we need to get other people involved. And that's been a big challenge, a big hurdle as well. And so a lot of it kind of started with actually my mom about a year ago. She started helping with packaging a lot of the product up and helping with shipping. And now we're going on a year of her helping as well. And my partner Robert as well. Robert's been helping us get into shops and help on kind of the marketing side of everything. Randy has been a huge help. I had Randy as an intern last fall, and now he's basically a part-time employee helping with all the web stuff. And now Derek and Betsy and a few others are helping with the booth and making sure we can go to different events, because as this evolves and we get busier and busier and there's more and more events, we need a team to do all this. So Derek is actually taking all this back to snowboard. He was running all the snowboard events this past winter, the toe up throwdown stuff with Jake, and that was that's been a huge help. But getting to that point of kind of building a team and like trying to train them and just keep it all organized has been definitely a challenge. Just kind of this hurdle you got to get over. And you know, even the factory, and having Justin and anyone who's helped with the open sessions over the years, and you know, reading the lessons, or Tristan the lessons, reading the birthday parties, and Tufty, you know, taking over a lot of the build stuff. It's just like, when you look at all these projects, it's like, how can we do all this, you know? And so I'm figuring it all out, you know, and we're learning as we go. It's something new every day, and I definitely appreciate everyone who's been a part of this, because it's been quite the ride, and I can't imagine, you know, what else is down the road. So it's been a challenge, just delegating work and trying to grow everything. So I guess there's really only one other thing I've thought about that's also been a challenge. It's kind of actually outside of riding, but it's something that has been one of the most rewarding parts to me. As I learned a lot of these things over the years and have experience riding or doing websites, whatever, I've had opportunities to actually teach, whether that's teaching another rider a trick, or teaching someone, you know, maybe training someone in on something. Or one of my favorite ones was I actually got to teach a college course at Hennepin Tech, thanks to Paul, one of my favorite instructors ever. I got to teach a web course at Hennepin Technical College, and I did it for about 3 semesters. And talk about a challenge. Like, you walk in and you have a whole classroom of people just staring at you, and you're like, how's everyone doing today, you know? Like, that was a challenge. Every week, teaching a course, a college course. But by the end, I can't even tell you how much, I mean, just seeing people learn, whether it is at the end of a course, or it is the end of a 1-hour lesson teaching BMX, or it's, you know, months later after you kind of train someone in and stuff. It's so rewarding seeing people learn and helping them, you know, learn what they want, you know. It is very, very rewarding. And so as we get in kind of the rewarding part of this question, I guess when I look at it all and you see, you know, riding with friends, doing tricks together, learning stuff together, you know, being a pro rider, traveling all over the place, the factory, and seeing our own skate park in town, and seeing our scene just totally dramatically change over the years, and seeing shows and seeing the people watching our shows and the reactions and the excitement, and, you know, people talking about shows. I still talk about shows I saw way back in the day, you know, and Little Pros Tour, and seeing the kids and the parents, and just seeing people pumped on these sessions and watching these videos so many years later, and Ride Brand, and seeing people with their new hat and their new clothes, and posting and sharing things about them and everything. When I look at all these different pieces, people are happy. They're smiling, they're having a good time. And so when I see all that, that is the most rewarding part of all this, is just seeing people happy and having a good time. You see someone who's not happy, that's not fun, you know, try and cheer them up. But when I look at all these different things, and just all of action sports and all the fun different things I've been able to experience over the years, is just seeing people happy. I mean, that's been the best part. And it's great because every time we get on a bike, we're happy, we're riding, you know, we're having a good time. And so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. But this is a brilliant question. Butch32, thank you for bringing this one up. Have a great week, guys, and enjoy spring, because it is officially here. So thanks again, let's ride. Boom, baby.